Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shemel Shai by Shem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video An Observation. Look up the word observation, meaning to look at something, to observe something, to study something. Not just look at it, glance at it, look at it, scrutinize it. Anyway, this is a video that I put up from another video that San Miguel TV had put up. And these were some of the individuals that were part of the ICGJC after we had all left. They all came in after we had all left. So, you know, they stayed around. Some of them came in 97, 98, I believe he came in 98. Some of them came in 2000, 2004, whatever. He goes back as well. But this is what I noticed. And even in this video, if you go to the chat replay of my video, someone had made a statement that they're not even, matter of fact, let me go ahead and bring it up. Okay, this is a new one. GMS Hagnos Anastro commented, Jake is shipwrecking their own salvation via podcast. Now, the scriptures speak about shipwreck, and I did it in the previous video. The Apostle Paul. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do that there. Well, the word shipwreck is good, but castaway, I want the word castaway, because anytime I go to the scripture where it speaks about a shipwreck, I always think about the scripture castaway. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, I got another tab right here, blue letter tab. I'll put in shipwreck. It's either shipwreck or shipwrecked. I don't want this. I want shipwreck. Shipwreck. Everything's in the scriptures. Let's do shipwrecked. This is a new KJV, 2 Corinthians 11:25. So I'll read in a new KJV. Three times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. Remember, he died, went into the fourth dimension, the heaven itself, and came back. When they left him there to die, he actually died. He had an out-of-body experience, so he actually died, and the Most High put the spirit back in him before his body can decompose. 3 times I was shipwrecked. At night, that's not what I want. I want shipwreck. Shipwreck. Let's try that. Shipwreck. That means literally being shipwrecked. Okay. That's not going to come up because I didn't. Bear with me for a minute. Take that E out. Shipwreck. Apostle Paul speaking to Timothy, 1 Timothy 1:19, holding faith and a good conscience. What does it mean to hold faith? Whatever you believe in this truth, you endure to the end. So these guys haven't endured. They are speaking against the whole fiasco with ICGJC. But when you left, did you throw away the truth, or do you still have the truth? Because if you do have the truth, you're supposed to be teaching. You know, you found out that the leader was not right, but they did have the truth. So you continue to push on. That's why the apostle spoke about him being a castaway. It says, holding faith and a good conscience, which some have put away concerning faith, have made shipwreck. Now let me look up the word castaway. That's also Paul mentioned that. Castaway. First Corinthians 9 verse 27. That you got to read this whole chapter. Goes over a lot of information. It says, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. Subjection meaning to be under someone else. So who was he under? He was under the Messiah. Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, all y'all preach to others, right? Y'all preach to others, all of y'all. Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Let's look up the word castaway. That means you was thrown off a ship. The ship that you were thrown off of is the gospel, the truth. Ooh, not stand the test, not approve, properly use of metals and coins, that which does not prove itself such as it ought, unfit, turn your back on the plow, you're unfit for the kingdom, unfit for unproved, spurious, reprobate. Guys fall off and go back into the world because they develop a reprobate mind. So now, I said in this video, GMS is being talked about. They mentioned the apostles that call themselves apostolic succession. He said, you even in this, Karab had said that you even got GMS calling himself apostles. Apostle just simply means sent away. That's all it means. That's just a word. But it's also a rank. We are the apostles. Okay? If you want to get technical, all of y'all that's out there speaking this word are apostles because you were all sent away. You received that truth, so now you are sent away. So elders, apostles, bishops. But when the brother mentioned GMS call himself apostles, they all had that look, that kind of like a nervous, they didn't say oh, GMS, don't let me get on GMS. It's almost like they think in their mind, we better not say too much about GMS. Because them brothers, they haven't stopped. They haven't slowed down. They out there in the winters. So there was a little fear in their eyes. Now they can say, no, I wasn't fearful. But they didn't laugh. And he's really fucked up. because he says he don't believe in the Most High. Tazadaka, fuck your mind up so much, you don't even believe in the Most High. So what these individuals should have did, minus him, because he don't believe in the Most High, they should have kept teaching. They should have set up camps and just kept going. So this is what okay, give me a second here. I want to find that other. Okay, here it is. Hebrews 4 verse 12 commented, and the Hebrew 4 and 12 is talking about the sword. And all these clowns are wearing hats. Don't understand reincarnation going off. So I put the comment, which I got a thumbs up for, and they all call on Christ. Watch this whole video, the original video. It's on San Miguel TV. Anytime they make mentions to the Lord, mention of the Lord's name, they say Christ or Jesus Christ. You can't find one, and this is a 4-hour. The original video is 4 hours. Let me give you the original video. It's right here. Put up 15 hours ago, San Miguel TV, as you can see. St. Ivan and the Injustice League strike back. So it's 4 hours, a little bit more than 4 hours long. And I haven't listened to the whole, video, but the times that they mention the Messiah, the Lord, they say Christ. So the brother that put the comment up, they're all wearing hats, and that's true. All of them are wearing hats. So now let's go. See, what they got to do is, if they're of the elect, they will do the work. They will continue to do the work. So I put up the word code for covered, and this one came up. I knew it was in 1 Corinthians 11 verse 4. So let me just read these precepts here. Actually, there's 4 precepts. Okay. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 4. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. Now you might say, well, I'm not praying and I'm not prophesying, but are you speaking in the name of the Messiah? Because if you're speaking in the name of your Messiah, that's the spirit of prophecy. Revelation 19 verse 10. Fifth verse. But every woman that prayeth or prophesies, and what it means by a woman prophesying, meaning to have a dream and telling her husband or the church, I had a dream about this, and they say, well, that was a vision. So she actually prophesied. Doesn't mean to go out on the highways and the byways. With her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. That is even all one as if she were shaven or bald. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn or shaven. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shaven, shorn, or shorn or shaven or bald, let her be covered. Scriptures, in the same scriptures, talks about the long hair is a covering for her. 7th verse. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head. For as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High, but the woman is the glory of the man. So that's order right there. Bear me for a minute. For this cause ought the woman to have power over her head because of the angels. Goes back into the covering. And that also shows order. The man's not supposed to have a hat on, a covering, and the woman is supposed to have a covering. Seventh verse again. For a man indeed ought to cover his head. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, put a hat on. Now, I understand if it's cold, you put a toboggan hat on or a hoodie hat on. You know, you put that hood on for the cold. But we didn't wear hats. For as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High, but the woman is the glory of the man. So that's order. The Most High, Yahushai, man, meaning the Israelite man, then woman. So it says here, give me a second. So all in the same chapter. Long, meaning long hair, is found here 2 times. 1 Corinthians 11:14. Doeth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him. But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given her for a covering. So it's natural for a woman to have long hair. It's not natural for a man to have long hair. So why did the Apostle Paul get on the men of Corinth? Because where did the church of Corinth, the people of Corinth, come out of? That was a part of Greece. That's in Asia Minor. These were Israelites in the Gentile state of mind. So they were following the customs of the Greeks. So when they came into this truth, they kept them customs with them. They ate the food of the Greeks because that's all they know. But if any man seem to be contentious, want to fight, have an argument about what I said about a man having long hair, he said, we have no such custom, neither the church of the Most High. Let me look up the word custom. Custom. Intercourse with one, intimacy or love, custom, a being used to, accustomed. Another word for accustomed, I'm accustomed to it, is I am used to doing it this way. This is how we do it. When in Rome, do as the Romans do, because that's their custom. So I'm going to give you one more precept and then I'm going to close. This is 2 Corinthians 4. I'm going to start at the 10th verse. It says, which when the king had with Antiochus Epiphanes had granted, and he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to the what? To the Greekish fashion or custom. When you read the commentary on Paul making a statement that a man is not supposed to have long hair, the commentators, the Christian commentators, the scholars among Esau, they say, well, back there, the custom of the Greeks were the men to have long hair, especially the young men and even the old men. Now, if you saw that movie, Troy, with Brad Pitt, there's a scene where they're all lined up and they show a back shot, and all those guys had cornrows. They had their helmets on, then you can see long cornrows. I did a video on that maybe a year or so ago. And that was part of the glory of the young Greek men. They had the long hair. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Brad Pitt had long hair. I believe he had cornrows. Which he might be a Jake anyway, because the way he was, the fight scenes, he wasn't goofy like the white boys. He had that swag with him. So he could be a Jake, you know? But let's see. Let's see. It says, and the royal privileges granted of special favor to the Jews, the Israelites, by the means of John, the father of Eupolemus, who went ambassador to Rome. Now, during that time, the Roman powers were the sons of Japhet, which were dark people. When you go back to Genesis chapter 10, it wasn't the Edomites. The Edomites came after. The Romans that helped the Israelites, Maccabees, those were the sons of Japhet. Etruscans, the Picts, because they had tatted up their body. There was another group, Minoans, which were Japhet. For enmity and aid, for friendship and aid, he took away, and putting down the governments which were according to the law, he brought up new customs against the law. They shall seek to change times and law. Custom is unwritten law. Custom is also law. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. So when you go back to, let me come back over there. When you go back to I'm sorry, wrong tab. That's why he mentioned custom. This is not a custom of ours. It's a shame for a man to have long hair. This is not a custom of ours. And the scholars say they got that from the Greeks because they came out of the Greek Empire. They were caught up in that mess with Antiochus Epiphanes. Doth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him. Then he says, we have no such custom, law, unwritten law. You had one guy from England, he's down in the IUIC, he's breaking down the long hair thing about a man can have long hair, and he justify it, which IUIC is known for that shit. They'll make it do what it do. They'll put a round peg, a round with dowel into a square peg, and they'll break it to make it fit in there. He made a statement. He said, oh, that part about the long hair, you can't have feminine hair. You can't make it. What are you talking? Long hair is either long hair or short hair. A Jake man and a Jake woman, they both get dreadlocks. Both look the same. There's not a feminine version of long dreadlocks. So you're guilty of adding to the word. So it says, 12th verse, for he built gladly a place of exercise unto, that's the custom. That's where you get the Olympics from. That's where you get these gyms, this gymnasium. The word gymnasium, gym it's a Greek word. It means naked. When you go to the gym, you got these women that are in they don't need to go to the gym. They're in super shape. They're going to meet men. Most of the people that you see in the gym, they're in 100% shape. They go in there to meet men, meet women, women meet men, men meet men, women meet women. I remember I went to this one gym. Well, it always happens like that. I went to this one gym, and a woman, she was flirting with this Edomite dude, right? And then the following week, she saw me and smiled at me. This Jake woman. You look good. She looked good. But I ain't coming here for that, you know? But, you know, that's that spirit. That gymnasium is a pickup spot. That's where you pick up women. And they make sure they show the shape. They show that they're in tip-top shape. And they wear, you know, what you call it, the spandex and so forth, the tight-fitting clothing, so you can see the shape of their ass, you can see the shape of their titties. And they flirting with certain guys that they like. And a lot of jealousy goes on in there. And fat people don't go to the gym. They'll go to the gym, then they'll get snickles. People will laugh at them. Well, you go to the gym to get in shape, not to be in shape. It said, for he built gladly a place of exercise, which is your gymnasium. You go to the gymnasium to get ready for the games, which are the Olympics today. Under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men, which are Israelites, under his subjection, and made them wear a hat, because it was not accustomed to us men to be wearing a hat. Remember, in the 10th verse, it says, which when the king had granted, and he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to Greekish fashions, or Greekish fashion. Now such was the height of Greek fashion. Wearing a hat was the height of Greek fashion. Man having long braids or long cornrows was the height of Greek fashion. So when they made that movie Troy, there was this, like I said, there was a scene where they had the military set up fighting against another military. They'll do these shots. They'll do the shot behind them. Then they'll go in front of them. And when they did the behind shot of them soldiers, they all had cornrows, which proved what? That they were Jake. They showed you in the movie the 300. That all the 300 had bushy beards, not Edomite beard. They made sure those beards were bushy because King Leonidas, which actually existed, he wasn't a real hero. The real hero was the admiral, which was a Jake. But they went on a suicide mission. So he was one of the heroes. He wasn't the real heroes, and they trained like going back to the Scythians. The Scythians are Jakes, are Israelites. So the original Russians are what? Israelites. A lot of them Russians, a lot of them are Jake. The only Edomite, if we want to call them Edomites, that'll go head to head with Jake in boxing is a Russian. And a lot of times the Russian will beat the Jake's ass. Because a lot of them are Israelites. A lot of them are Scythians and barbarians. So they had a right to salvation too. Look it up. Look up the word, go to the blue letter and put in the word Scythian. And Paul speaks about them, that they can be saved too, but because they're Israelites. 13th verse. Now such was the height of Greek fashions, and the long hair and the hat and the clothing, an increase of heathenish manners. A man having long hair is a heathenish manner, through the exceeding profaneness, meaning outside the temple, of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest. Because this guy was a high priest, he was an Israelite, but he made a deal with the Greeks to cause the young men to dress like the Greek, get circumcised, grow your hair long like a woman, wear a hat, work out in the gym, the gymnasium, participate in the Olympics. If you go to Google and you put in Greek Olympics, ancient Greek Olympics, art or vases, you can put in art. All those art, those images are images of slender, wiry, long, muscular Jake, butt ass naked. Those are our people. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.